Alex Mack. He's on the attack. What a fucking pen, too.
Yeah, dude.
Absolute
Buried
missile.
that shit.
John, I'm pretty sure I've FaceTimed you through many Liverpool, Man City relegation battle games. Was that the loudest I've ever celebrated anything?
Yeah, I was actually... I was kind of worried. I thought that there was some portion of this game that meant something that I wasn't grasping, is what I'll say. Like, I was like, he's really excited about this. I don't really get it, but...
One, Dylan and I called it. Brighton win.
True.
Never a doubt, by the way.
Never.
Yeah. Two, it took our percentage chance to finish on the top four from 10% to 14%.
That's huge.
It's massive.
Okay.
And Alex Mack, he's on the attack. Like, what else is there? I mean, that's pretty exciting, don't you think?
Yeah, big gang.
Did you see? Did you watch it through like to the end, like the celebration on the pitch and stuff?
No.
They were going crazy.
Crazier than Napoli?
I was about to ask that.
I don't know, like crazy. How do you define crazy? Because like
no Confederate flags.
no confetti flag. No.
Yeah. They're the
No, I don't
South
think
too.
so.
That
Yeah, but they're super.
liberal. They're super
Yes.
liberal down
Yeah.
there. That comment section for that Sam's Army post was a treat. To
Crazy.
say the least.
I didn't
It
go
was
through
just.
it.
It's just like I think he used to be affiliated with Barstool, or he still is. But there are
Do you
just
not
a
listen?
lot of.
I love his podcast, to be completely honest.
I've never listened. I didn't know he had one.
He has what's it called? He hasn't been on a consistent season, but like Larry Nance and like McConnell do it with him.
Oh really?
Yeah, like they're on every once in a while.
Wait, Larry Nance Jr. or Larry Nance?
Larry Nance Jr.
Okay.
He's a big Chelsea guy.
Isn't it?
Fuck.
am I
TJ
thinking?
McConnell's a Liverpool guy though.
Yes.
Who was I thinking? I thought McConnell was a City guy. There's a small basketball player that's a City dude that I can't remember. But is McConnell still in the league?
I
Is Larry
assume
Nance
so.
Jr. still in the league?
Yeah, here's on.
The NAFTA podcast.
Sometimes may be good, sometimes may be shit.
Episode 59, NAFTA podcast. We're back after a midweek, manic midweek. 3 games played. If you are tuning into YouTube, you get the chance to see our outfits for today. Michael thought Nick was going to be on the pod. Spoiler, Nick is not on the pod, so he is rocking last year's Brighton jersey. Dylan, huge Ed Sheeran guy. Big victory for him today. Wearing the Ipswich jersey with the logo on the front. Is that his album logo?
It's the tour, but it's all his albums. He has a plus, equals, divide, multiply, and subtract comes out tonight.
Oh.
Just saying. Big Ed head.
Okay, good to know.
Also, Ipswich is getting promoted too.
Yeah, shout out to Ipswich for sure. And Napoli won the Scudetti, so of course I wore a Soprano shirt. Guys, what's going on? Michael, let's start with you. A little disappointed Nick's not here, huh?
I'm devastated.
Yeah. He's waiting for it.
Yeah. Like I actually got in here, sat down with a different shirt on, and then like took all my shit off, remembered they had won, went upstairs, grabbed this, put it on, came back down.
Tough. Shout out to Nick out there cooking for Caroline.
Shout out to Caroline. Good win.
Shout out to Caroline. Won the game and got a meal cooked for her.
Yeah.
Double win today.
In the
I think
90th
that was
minute.
Yeah. Yes. In the 90s at the death. Dylan, how you doing? You feeling better?
For the most part.
Okay.
The pollen's still enemy number one. Like,
Yeah.
seasonal allergies entered the chat and they chose violence, and I'm working through it right now.
Took Josie on a walk today, and there's this dude that was walking with his girlfriend, and he just totally hocked a loogie while they were walking, and I Just knew it was going to happen to him next. Girlfriend looked at him, so disappointed, and he just goes, "Allergies, babe. Like I can't help it." And
Allergies, huh?
I will tell you right now, as much as allergies suck, for the month of like April, May, and part of June, you can get away with doing anything in terms of like that sense. But like, it's my allergies.
yeah, for sure. Allergies in this month are kind of like, I mean, there's a lot of things. It's like I always go to the only place I know of that there actually are no rules are airports. 10:30 in the morning beer, 9:30 p.m. like breakfast sandwich, doesn't matter. The space-time continuum is not at an airport. Just isn't there.
A week from... Oh, go ahead, Dylan.
Well, I have to say, allergies are the equivalent to me with scoliosis. Got me out of playing midfield in lacrosse by telling my coach I wasn't allowed to run. So that's how we played attack. It's the same excuse.
I don't know how I can follow that up. A week from now, a week from now, I'll be in Fort Lauderdale. But like next Thursday morning, I'll be boarding a Spirit flight to Fort Lauderdale.
Taking Spirit?
If you don't think I'm gonna get shit faced before that flight, like there's no way I can do that sober.
Bro, there is no way to get from Ohio to Florida outside of a Spirit flight.
Yeah,
Actually?
everything is one stop. You
That's
cannot
the
take direct.
Yeah, that is the direct airline between those two states, those godforsaken states, bro.
That's so unfortunate.
Spirit gang, stand up.
Godspeed to me.
Hey, people say that all the time. Spirit never had a crash.
Okay,
you know
that's
what?
not something you put into the universe as your brother's about to go on a plane.
Hey, dude.
It's actually I saw a list of like the most trusted airlines. As a Georgia liver for 4 years, shout out Delta #1.
Big gang.
Southwest dead fucking last, by the way.
Southwest.
Which is crazy. Spirit was like top 6 or 7 though. Like
it's because they don't give you anything else, so they have to focus on that. You know what I mean? Like you're in a lawn chair in a death tube. They might as well be safe.
They literally said. They don't let you take 2 bags. Like you have to. It's like 1 carry-on, and then you have to like check a bag. Yep. And it's always the joke is because like they need to weigh the plane correctly so it doesn't tip over.
Brother, sometimes that's not fake though.
Oh yeah.
Early on in Alexis and my relationship, we took a flight from Newark or JFK, one of them, to Canton, Akron, and it was on a plane that had 2 seats and 1 seat. Right.
I love those seats.
Oh, they're the 1-seaters.
Yeah.
Yeah, the best. You get the best of both worlds. You get the window, you get the aisle. But we're sitting there, and they asked us to move to the back of the plane, me and her, for weight distribution. And they had to follow that up with, trust me, you're going to get a free complimentary champagne, like whatever. And in my head, I was like, we're going to die. Like, what weight distribution? My ass. Like, what the fuck does this even mean?
Do you remember when we took...
I also felt fat as fuck when they said that, too, but that's fine.
Do you remember we took it was like the Hawaii one between islands?
Yes.
It was the same thing.
Brother, yeah. Big time.
That was a tin can.
That was absolutely... Someone threw that plane across the water. Like, it was
they took us and they just went like this.
Tossed us.
They just yeeted us.
The craziest one I've ever been on, and then we can move on from Flight 101 here. On our honeymoon, we flew from Rome to Sardinia, and... what is the really budget airline over there that everyone uses? It's like Irish. Shit. Anyway.
McLean's?
No. McLean's?
Mick, I thought you said McLean's.
I've never been on a plane where this pilot stuck this landing like a gymnast. Like, we hit the ground, and then we were done. Like, there was no, like, slow down. It was like... We hit the ground. We went from like 140 to 0, and it was just boom. And then we were there, and I was like, God damn.
That's called a crash.
Yeah, that's a planned crash. All right, shout out to that. Michael, down in Florida. COVID's not real anymore, so go ham.
You know? Hell yeah, dude. Joe said it's all over.
It is. Dark Brandon out here. All right, let's get into the week before we get ourselves in trouble. Usually we don't talk about this when the Tuckers are on. Liverpool won, Fulham 0. Salah with a lone goal in the 39th minute gave Liverpool all 3 points in a game that Fulham actually played them pretty well. Tough matchup for Liverpool. City 3, West Ham 0. Ake in the 50th, Holland in the 70th, and Foden in the 85th are the 3 goals for City. Again, first half, tough fought match, and then City kind of took over. And then the big one was today, Brighton and Hove Albion 1, Manchester United 0. Pretty even matchup the entire time. McAllister with the lone goal off of a penalty in the 90th minute, +9, off of a Luke Shaw handball that had to go to VAR. Pretty straightforward results. Dylan and Michael, I'm glad you're on the pod because you both went 3-0. Predicted all 3 correctly.
Let's go.
Shout out to you guys. Dylan, you said in the group chat 5+ wins away from being 500 for the year. So we're pulling for you there. But Michael, let's start with you. Quick analysis of the Liverpool game. How you feeling?
If we did not seem to lose all consciousness and all critical thinking when we reached the other team's 18, we might have scored 7 goals. But it seems there's so many times where it was just the last pass or the second to last pass that was just nowhere close. I will say Gakpo. I think Gakpo he came off the bench. He is so technically gifted, and he's obviously an incredibly good athlete. Nunez is an athletic freak. He is crazy. He is not as technically gifted. Yeah, if we could just... Well, the fusion of them is literally Luis Diaz, who is unbelievable. But I do love when Nunez is in there because he got us the penalty, just his work rate. Defense, we finally got a clean sheet, which is great. Looked a little bit better. Trent, again, didn't get an assist this game, but was, everywhere all the time. Just crushing it. But, yeah. They were, Fulham were good, but they had, 2 or 3 chances that they really could have scored, and I don't know what we would have done in that case, so...
Fulham did a good job papering over the Tim Ream size hole in the back 4 too. Decent.
Yeah.
Marco Silva's a good coach. I think we've all established that.
Yeah, I wonder if he'll get fined.
What do you do?
Marco Silva.
Yeah, saying that the refs favored Liverpool on the penalty.
Brother.
I wonder if he'll get fined for that.
The only teams that get fined are Liverpool. You know that. Come on.
Yeah, so true.
City. Michael asked if I was nervous after the first half. It was 0-0.
Yeah, Dylan, hold on. Can I tell you? It's 0-0 at halftime, and I go, "You nervous?" And John was like, "Nah, not really, whatever." And then he kind of was big time as a joke, nervous. And then I don't text him the rest of the time. It hits 3-0, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm real nervous." And I was like, "Brother, you're up 3-0 with 5 minutes ago. This doesn't exude confidence."
I was kidding.
The only thing I saw of this game was when I checked my phone at work and I saw 0-0 at half, and I was like, our group chat is not loud enough right now to be busting John's balls for blowing the treble. And then an hour and a half later, I look at my phone, it says 3-0. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Because we don't care if City win.
But I think if no one would bust my balls anyway, I get kind of a free pass here. Because most times than not, we end up winning. Right? You're not going to come after me. And then
you're turning the Premier League into the Bundesliga, though. So,
yeah.
I don't like you for that.
True. I told you. I was talking to my buddy Ian about this. The guy who officiated our wedding, John, shout to him. I think he still listens every once in a while. Lives in Paris now. Loved that Man City beat the piss out of Arsenal because he said that he's sick of hearing about how the Premier League is just not a farmers league. He goes, it is. I don't know what you're talking about. It is a farmers league. And I was like, all right, it's not, but I get his point.
It's not, but
it's totally not.
The fact that Brighton are in 6 is not farmers league.
Yeah, but the man flew across country. He gave an award to Dr. Fauci, and he was at brunch with us, so I wasn't about to argue with the man. So
he gave an award to Dr. Fauci?
It's a long story. Shout out to Columbia Medical School. Got to shake his hand.
Wow.
Said, hey, it wasn't a lab, right, bro?
Lab leak? You sure?
Yeah, John didn't confirm, but I did ask.
All right, that's the second time we're joking.
I don't know how to react to all this. I wasn't ready for political talk.
No, it's fine. speaking of political talk, Calvin Phillips entered in the 90th minute. That guy's gone. Just glad to be there, I think.
You got how did you ruin somebody like that?
No, we didn't ruin him. He kept eating.
But sometimes you eat when you're sad, and you're sad because you eat. So, it's a vicious cycle.
It's a snake eating its own tail in that one.
So true.
Yeah, whatever. So, yeah, City 3-0. Let's talk about the one that actually mattered. This Brighton game was a good one. Pretty even the entire way through. I do think, though, this Brighton team... Michael was right. This Brighton team's better than United. I don't know how they lost that FA semifinal match. They were just better.
Because they do Brighton things where even though they've gotten better at it this year, they still have just games where their XG is 7, and then they've scored 1 or 0 goals. Yep. The only highlight I saw from today, outside of the winning penalty kick, was Matoma, he just kicked De Gea in the face. That should have been a goal, and he just really just whacked him in the face.
Smacks him in the dome, and there's literally, I forget who it was, it might have been Welbeck, that was just sitting at the 6, being I could have just scored this. Yeah. I love the matchup, though. Casemiro and Fred on one side, Alex Mack and Billy Gilly on the other side. The midfield battle is pretty good. Honestly, I thought Casemiro would have a bigger impact. I haven't watched as many United games as I probably should, but based on how Nick talks... I don't think so. Yeah, I agree. I think based on how Nick talks about Casemiro, though, I figured he'd have more of an impact. McAllister's the real deal. He's not going to be at Brighton next year. Not a chance in hell. And then outside of that... What do you mean?
They're going to have European soccer.
They're so good.
I think that they...
you're right. You're right, but, that just sucks to say.
Yeah, they Billy Bean it, though. He's not actually worth the amount of money they're going to get for him.
Probably not.
So they're gonna flip it, and they're gonna get 7 more of this Buonanotte guys that we've never heard of for the entire season. And then he starts the last 3 games, so it's
with a goal and assist already.
Yeah, just nutty. Midfield battle was good. Did you added him?
I'm gonna probably. Michael's making a run. I gotta take back first place.
Well, we better shout that out, because if Michael's in first place in something and we don't talk about it, then he gets upset. So Michael, he's in first place in our fantasy league. Dylan's in second.
Thank you
very much. I noticed I'm not last. I had to see the actual standings because you posted something about it, not because I've been in the app.
I know no one follows fantasy, but there's nothing more devastating than when you're in first by 10 or 20 points, and it's just aggregate score for the end of the year, like the Premier League, and then Michael's team just drops 90 in a week. It's just, how do you come back from that?
We're sick with it.
You don't. I said this last year, but I lasted 8 weeks.
Yeah, you don't keep up with it.
I will say the app is bad.
It's broken.
Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's all we got.
Oh, listen. I think they're changing it next year, aren't they? They got a whole partnership with somebody.
Is that a thing?
I thought so. I keep seeing fucking ads about it.
It'd be nice.
Hey, did you guys notice Caicedo played a right back this game?
I did. I was just about to say that. It was interesting. The matchup was Matoma, Wan-Bissaka on the one side, and then Rashford and Caicedo ended up going head-to-head a decent amount. He's not going to play there next year, brother.
Probably not.
They're gonna make 300 mil next year easily.
But do you realize that Brighton did him a favor by not letting him go to Chelsea?
Yes.
Oh,
just saying.
Yeah, I agree. I think if I'm looking at this lineup, I'm not surprised if Caicedo's gone, if McAllister's gone, and Matoma. I wouldn't be shocked. I think Matoma is most likely to stay, but I wouldn't be shocked.
Well, the other thing I was going to tell you, and Ciso, they had that. They have him. They have Undav came on, another guy that they just signed this year. The Bueno, I'm not looking at the thing. He's 18.
Yeah, I know he's there. He's there on loan, but Levi Colwell will probably actually play a lot for Chelsea next year. So he was a good pickup.
What makes you think that?
He should. He's better than anyone.
They have 1,000 people.
I know, but he should. He's better than anyone they got, and he's 20.
And is he actually better, or is Brighton just a better team? Like, he could be placed into a shit team structure and then be bad.
I see your point, but I feel like I've seen a lot more of him chasing down pretty good attackers than the Chelsea people. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know, man. The thing is, and I guess this is just not how it works. If I was an agent or a player, I mean, I guess if I'm an agent, you're gonna get the bag. Like,
Yeah.
you get the bag. But if I was like a player or like an ex-player trying to like direct people, I would send them as far away from Chelsea as possible.
I don't think anyone's arguing with you outside of people who run a Chelsea podcast or a Chelsea blog or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
they still think they got it.
Do they?
Got what?
I like actually don't have a lot of Chelsea friends like that I know of, which I guess
Yeah.
I'm okay with. So I have no idea what the finger on the pulse of Chelsea, like if they actually do still think they're sick or not, like from a fan's perspective.
I think that it is more of like it's like a joking thing. Like, I want to use the term banter, but it's so overused. But the friends that I have that are fans of him are at the point now where it's like, well, we got bully bucks. It doesn't matter. Like, they know that they can miss and they're still going to get influxes of money. You know what I mean? Like,
But have they not realized that money doesn't buy wins nor happiness? Sorry to
they
get
won the
philosophical.
They won Champions League 2 years ago.
Yeah, with an actual good coach that they got rid of. I think I saw
Was
a
he?
stat. I think I saw a stat that over. I'm gonna get this part wrong because I don't have it, but like I'm gonna say Tuchel coached like what 100 games with them, probably a little bit more. Like, it took this past like I think 2 month spell for them to reach the amount of losses that they had under Tuchel just in this past like 2 months.
Yeah. I was trying to look it up, but I couldn't find how many games is there. But that's an amazing stat.
It's
That's
something
kinda
like it's somewhere around there. It's directionally accurate.
Yeah, you're heading in the right direction for sure. I do think he was a decent coach.
I
be
do
honest.
too.
2 years ago.
I mean, but look
guess.
at it. He was still Chelsea. Not that we need to get in this tangent about Chelsea because I feel like we fall in this trap every single week. But Chelsea was what 7th or 6th in the table when they fired him, and now they're 12th, potentially looking at ending at 13th or 14th. Like, he clearly was the better coach with the players they had than what they're currently
yeah.
looking at.
He's a better coach than Frank Lampard.
Well, that's
And-
easy,
and
but I'm saying,
Potter.
but even Potter at this point.
And they were on, as much as I hate to say this, they were on a slight upswing when they got rid of Potter.
Yeah.
Not in results, but in like performance.
Yes.
And now, like with Lampard, it's just bad everything.
Speaking of Spirit Airlines, Frank Lampard.
Don't say that. I'm about to get on a flight, brother. Come on.
I'm one of those people where if you say it more, it's not going to happen.
That's not how this works.
Yeah. Anything
I'll big up Michael one more time. He went 3-0, like I mentioned. Dylan went 3-0, like I mentioned. I went 2-1. Therefore, overall standings: Michael 286.5 and 227. I am 286 and 227. Beat me by a half point. So
Now I know why I was so happy.
yeah, younger brother syndrome. You always gotta shout out their successes. Or
Hey.
else they think they don't love you.
Last thing,
Yep.
is Eric Ten Hag gonna get fined
No, not a Liverpool coach.
for crying to the fourth official like in his face?
Not a Liverpool coach, bro. I don't know why you're
Damn.
asking that.
That's crazy.
All right, let's dive into the predictions for this weekend. Full slate of games. We're gonna start ourselves off here with Bournemouth hosting Chelsea. Chelsea won 2-0 at Stamford Bridge earlier in the season. This one is at the Vitality. Michael already shouted out Bournemouth. I will say this: big game. Chelsea has a game in hand. They're even on points, but I think if Bournemouth wins this, kind of driver's seat, man. Like, they might finish above Chelsea. Michael said Bournemouth. I'm going Bournemouth for the Bants. Dylan, who you got?
I had Bournemouth, but now I feel like we all can't choose Bournemouth.
Nick didn't.
Nick hasn't chosen yet, so like Nick's gonna choose as the games are going on. I will go with Bournemouth.
Hey, what's the over under reminders Nick needs to fill it out this weekend? You think 2,
4.
2.5? Damn, that's a high.
I do want to say last 10 games Bournemouth 6-0-4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chelsea 0-10.
Is it 0-10?
No,
I think you guys said it like 2 days ago. I think Bournemouth gets up for this game knowing that it's at home and that they can get above Chelsea.
Chelsea 1-2-7 last 10.
Also, Chelsea's gonna have the weirdest lineup ever. Like that's what Lampard just putting out just weird shit.
I really do think Bournemouth are gonna win.
I know. I picked them too.
No. I'm saying.
Agree.
You said for the Bants, I'm also gonna pick Bournemouth. I'm going for it because I think they're gonna win.
I do too, but then when we all chose it, it made me possibly change my mind. But I'm gonna stick with my
stay
heart.
with us. Stay with us. Yeah, stick with the gut. City leads 3-1 win for City earlier in the season at Leeds. This one is at the Etihad. I got City. Dylan.
City.
Michael.
City.
Little sweep there. Battle of the Birds. Tottenham hosting Crystal Palace. Tottenham beat the shit out of Crystal Palace earlier in the season on the road 4-0. But they didn't have Hodgson at the time, and Tottenham also looked a little sus. Hugo Lloris, I believe, is out for this game too. Just keep that in mind. Michael, what'd you do with this?
I have Spurs reluctantly.
Wow. Dylan?
I don't like that we're all the same. I do too, because for some reason I feel like this is recency bias of the second half, and then they're gonna start off slow as shit again. And I'm like, why did I pick them? But I'm gonna go with Spurs.
I got a draw on this one. I think
like that
Hodgson
better.
still has that magic. I don't normally pick draws because I always get them wrong, but I'm gonna stick with it on this one. Dylan, you mentioned it earlier. Midlands Derby, Wolves hosting Villa. A draw last time out at Villa. This one is at the Molineux. Big time matchup between probably the two best hires coaching wise throughout the season with Lopetegui and Unai. Dylan, I'll let you start it off. Where are you going with it?
I mean, we all know I'm choosing Villa, but because it's at home and how we got embarrassed, I watch out for the tie that officially makes us safe. But for purposes that we all know why, I will be taking Villa.
Michael?
I have Villa as well.
I want Wolves. Just
Thank
putting
you.
some decent juju behind Dylan. And if Chelsea lose and if Bournemouth win and Wolves win, Wolves jumps Chelsea too. I think it's funny, you know? Going for comedy at this point.
I like jokes.
Liverpool hosting Brentford. Last time out, Brentford with a 3-1 win against Liverpool. Michael, who are you taking here? It's at Anfield.
Oh, thank God. I mean, I'm picking us, but I'm not confident.
I'm going Liverpool as well. Dylan, who you got in this?
I'm going Liverpool too. I think. Yeah, I'm going Liverpool.
Yeah.
Is that Can we ban Ivan Toney for this game?
Nope.
Fuck.
He's going to bet on it too.
He's gonna bet Brentford win.
Yeah.
Shit.
Newcastle hosting Arsenal, probably the toughest matchup left on Arsenal's calendar. I think I'd have to go double check, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be it. Last time out, 0-0 draw at the Emirates. This one is at St. James Park, aka Baby Anfield. Guys, I might regret this. I got Newcastle winning, straight up.
I do
got
too.
faith in it. Dylan's got it too. This might make me nervous depending on how Michael goes here. He's picking up free points here if they don't.
I got the Gunners.
Yeah, I knew he would do that. He's trying to be calculating here.
No,
7 games.
I filled it out before we even had this conversation.
Well, I think it's gonna be. I want to watch this. 11:30 a.m. I think this will be the best game.
Is this Saturday?
Sunday.
Yeah,
Sunday?
Sunday.
Yeah,
We got nothing going on Sunday. That's good.
there you go.
John,
yeah.
Newcastle, Brighton, Forest, Wolves. So yeah, probably their toughest game remaining.
West Ham's hosting United. United got to come back from that 1-0 loss from today. Last time out, it was in the FA Cup. United won 3-1, and then 1-0 in the Premier League. Both games were at Manchester United. I don't know why
Old
my
Trafford?
brain just branked on Old Trafford. Yeah. This one is at London Stadium. Michael, who you got?
I got a draw.
Ooh. Dylan?
I hate this pick so much that I love it. I'm taking United.
Yeah. I'm
Like,
with you,
it grosses me out because I don't trust them at all, which is why I think it's the right pick.
I feel real dingy with it, but I think he's got to get some points. They are, if you're in that locker room, you're talking about how Liverpool still has a chance to get top 4 to try to motivate these guys to win. Michael, I think you mentioned it. They got to win 3 games, right?
3 of the next 5, or they can go
3 of the
2-3-0 and they get 9 points.
Yeah.
So they gotta lose one, or they gotta like draw out basically.
Yeah. Fulham hosting Leicester at Craven Cottage. Last time out, Fulham beat Leicester away from home. Mitrovic still out. Michael and I were just talking. I don't think he's going to play for the rest of the season. Tim Ream, broken arm, unfortunately, and they lost to Liverpool in midweek. Despite that, I still got them beating Leicester. Leicester not very good.
Do you think
Dylan?
Fulham still cares about the season?
So this is...
Because I just switched my pick to Leicester because I'm banking on them just having the fight.
This is the end of season calculus that separates the first placers from the last placers, I think, in our predictions. Good money, smart money in your mind would be on Fulham, but you bring up a really good point. Like, what are they playing for anymore? You know? Michael?
To answer your question, he does have 1 match ban. Like, he has 1 more match left.
So this would be so you could play them the last 3 or 4 games.
Yeah, something like that. I got Fulham.
Yeah. Okay. Any particular reason?
Played you guys tough, and us.
Yeah, told you. Dylan, I think this game will indicate if they're on the beach.
Yeah.
For sure. I think if Leicester comes in there and gets a dub, we might be wary of picking Fulham for any of the rest of these games.
I also just, before you go, Dylan, I also just don't think Leicester are capable of like playing defense.
I don't disagree with you. This pick is solely based off of I'm just picking the team that has something to play for.
True.
I think I could be completely wrong. That's just the only reason why I'm taking it.
Speaking of 2 teams that have something to play for, Brighton, they're going to host Everton. 2 teams playing for 2 different things, for sure, too. Brighton beat Everton 4-1 earlier in the season. This one was at Goodison Park. We're going to the Amex this weekend. I got the Seagulls. I think they really want to just solidify Europe so badly. And the fact that they played United so tough today, I think we don't have to worry about them. Dylan, who you going here?
I'm taking the Seagulls. When 2 teams have something to play for and one's a lot better than the other. I'm just saying, what? Is that John Madden analysis? I'm just saying.
Yeah,
No.
this is so good.
Bang! Michael, who you got?
I also have Brighton. Man, this is like real bad waters for Everton. If Leicester do win, and with this next one we'll talk about, this could be real bad after this week.
Yeah. If Leicester do win and Everton get beat, I will go down with the ship. We'll start playing in that locker room. I think it's pretty much over. R.I.P. Hank. Sorry, buddy.
I just realized with the predictions on how I have them, I'm actually staying in tune with what I said who was going to get relegated because the gulf will be too big. Not that it will be, but it kind of will be.
Hey, that's that mentality, Dylan.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Unagi.
Nottingham Forest, Southampton, a 6-pointer in the relegation zone. If you go on FOTMob for this game, Nottingham Forest quite literally have a starting 11 injured. Just a whole list of people injured. Despite that, Southampton are terrible. This is at the City Ground, so Nottingham Forest is at home. Last time they squared up at Southampton, Forest won 1-0. I went Forest just because I love Leeds too. This is going to be a real heartstrings for me. I like both these teams, but I just love the Forest logo. I kind of want them to stay, you know? That's how I'm feeling.
Yeah. Also, Forest at home
Good.
is
Decent.
is good, so I will be taking Forest.
The best of bad is what they are at home.
Yes.
Yeah. I also have
Michael?
Forest.
All right. Those are the
That
predictions.
that means Southampton's winning.
That's probably true. Just a refresher. I'm in first, 181, 156. Michael's in second, 176, 161. Dylan, like we mentioned before, 166 and 171, 5 games away from 500. Nick, let's get as close as we can, bud. All right?
Hey,
Nothing patronizing, but let's get as close as we can, okay?
I want to talk about one last thing.
Yeah, he is 160 and 177, by the way. But go ahead.
Sam Allardyce.
Yeah,
Okay.
What do we think about that?
Fucking dumbass, first of all.
No, he's not. He's getting $500K to work for 3 weeks.
Yeah, he's not dumb.
No. His comments are dumb.
Yeah, for sure.
What do you mean?
Okay.
Pep agreed with him.
I think Pep was being,
Nice.
yeah. If Leeds and the Sean Dyche Everton both go down, can we please be done with this? These are relegation saving managers.
You don't
First
like
off,
Brexit ball?
Dyche, I don't think is in that because he was the actual manager of a team for a while, and then this is the first time he's coming to save someone.
Tell
you
that
also,
to Nick.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean. I'm just saying, like,
And
this
Allardyce
is the
took-
first time he's doing it.
Allardyce took West Brom down when he was
okay.
sent in there to save them.
One,
I'm not disagreeing with you on that.
let's not keep kicking the guy when he's not here. 1. 2, Michael, I want your actual opinion on this.
Okay.
He shouldn't have been fired from Burnley in the first place.
Dyche?
Yeah.
I mean, they were bad.
I'm gonna make an argument. Him getting them firing him without them realizing it was also the best thing because they
Yes.
reset and now
Yes.
actually play fun football.
And now
Yes.
they get J.J. Watt as an investor, for sure.
But I will say, like, he was the best chance for them to stay up, which
Yeah.
is what they, in the moment, what they wanted to do was to stay up.
Yeah.
When they got to the point where they got relegated, and they made a very good decision hiring company,
Yeah.
and now they're great. So if you're looking at it in that perspective, they made the correct decision, like, overall. But in that moment, the best chance for them to stay up was
with him.
probably with him,
Yeah.
and definitely not who, I don't even know who they fucking
I don't even remember.
signed or managed them the rest of the way.
No, it's funny. We were talking about before. I think this was said on the Sam's Army podcast.
Mhm.
Is this similar thinking? But I know.
No free press.
No, whatever. It's a good podcast. Anyway, it was the same concept though, where they were saying that Leeds might need to go down to reset for the fact that they're like 5 degrees away from Bielsa, and all they have is Bielsa players.
The funniest tweet I saw about this was, "Pray for Leeds fans. They've gone from Bielsa to Big Sam in 12 months,"
Yeah.
which is tough.
Yeah, that's the dude that's on. Fuck, I just made fun of Dylan for talking about another podcast.
We're allowed to listen to other podcasts, guys.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
Yeah,
I agree.
the Tifo IRL podcast or whatever it is. The guy who is, I don't know his name. The guy who's a Leeds fan. They brought up the Tyler Adams thing about how bad they've been since he's been gone, and he said, I don't want to say that our success is based on one player. I mean, you could look at the numbers however you want to look at them. In that case, like, to what he's saying, I actually do think that it is a lot him, because not only is he, like, really good, and you guys know I'm not an America guy for sure, so I'm not just saying this because
Big Canadian Michael.
yeah, I'm not, but
Big Jonathan
think-
Davis guy.
I think his ability defensively is, like, what they need more than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, dude, he's feisty, man. Like, he is the fire a lot of the time for that team.
Which brings me to one of the last points we can mention, but anytime you have the opportunity to remind people how big of a fucking moron Alexi Lawless is, you should. The fact that he went through that whole diatribe when Tyler Adams was getting in people's faces about, like, you need to not do that and yada yada. Like, he was the chip on the shoulder of Leeds, and now it's gone. So,
What a waste
fuck
of
Alexi
oxygen.
Lawless. Yeah, what terrible guy. Terrible guy. Hell of a golfer, though. All right, those are the predictions. Dylan, you got any bets for this weekend?
Of
course I do. I have a question before
Fucking
I give
stupid
you.
question.
Yeah, I'll say, does a bear shit in the woods?
Exactly.
Well, the answer to that is not if it's a polar bear, but that's okay. So, how many goals do you think City can score this week?
Against Leeds
This week?
5.
This weekend?
I mean, I will say this. Last year, I think we put a 7 spot on them.
All right, fine. Instead of Man City minus 2.5 at plus 104, I will give you Man City minus 3.5 at plus 238.
238.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys get scored on.
That's what I'm saying. They have to win 4.
Yeah.
Do you think they can win 4-0? I guess.
Yeah,
is what
I
I'm
do.
asking.
I actually do. Yeah.
Or
That's because that's how I try to
5-1.
look at it too. Is like 5-1. I don't go like 4-0, 5-1. I go like there's no way I think Leeds are scoring. So can they score 4 goals? Yeah.
I should look this up, which I know I can because my phone's in front of me. So I guess I will. Is what it is for them to win to 0.
Yeah,
that's
you gotta
also
start-
a bet.
You got to start big braining some of these bets, like that guy who bet Richarlison to score and to get carded because he knew if Richarlison did score, the top was
Did
coming
someone
off.
do that? Because that's actually a phenomenal bet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They made like
you should-
$5,000.
Yeah, you should do that actually
I
too.
love
every,
that.
every time Mo Salah plays United, because you know you're just getting better odds on him scoring a goal.
So City
Why are you
clean
kicking a
sheet
guy
is
that's not here?
City clean
What's
sheet
he-
is minus 110.
Oh yeah, I would do that for sure.
So
Salah takes his top off every time he plays United.
He has more yellow cards celebrating goals against United than United has goals at Anfield.
Yeah,
hilarious.
shut up.
We have a 3-leg parlay. Brighton, Liverpool, City plus 133. And then
We're gonna fuck your parlay.
I honestly was thinking that, but don't worry. You can make money because then we're going to put our money where our mouth is. We're going to take Bournemouth plus 250, and we're going to take Nottingham Forest plus 110. And then I'm going to give you, this wasn't on here, but because I'm taking them, I don't think this is going to hit, but I might as well say it. The relegation parlay. Forest, Leicester, Bournemouth plus 1,800. Why not?
Damn. Yeah, do it. That's
I
big
do like
time.
that.
I actually honestly now say I think I might not a full
You should.
unit, but a little bit.
Half a unit, quarter unit. The one thing I'll say is like traditionally and historically, that line for the Bournemouth game I guess makes sense Vegas wise, but
The
you
tie
have
is
no-
exactly the same though. A tie is also plus 250.
Interesting.
I don't like that.
I was gonna say like I don't think they've been watching this Bournemouth team lately. Like,
They
they're
haven't.
not-
I can tell you right now what's happening with Bournemouth. That line is like that because one, they hear Chelsea, Vegas sees Chelsea and is going
Yeah.
for that, and two, it's equivalent of earlier in the year when I kept saying bet Newcastle because they kept going after Newcastle and it was still plus. Like there was points where Newcastle was like plus 170 beginning of the year and it was like there's no reason that this should be the line.
Yeah, for sure. All right, that's a handful of bets from Dylan.
I got excited.
Quick pod today. Let's get out of here with a joke and get everyone moving on. Bad exit by John there.
Did you guys see that that Everton's website went down today?
No.
Really? Because they couldn't string 3 W's together. Cheers.
The NAFTA podcast.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.